Are we going to keep staring at each other, or are you going to invite me in?
Oh yes, forgive me. Do come in.
Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. Blake. Sophia Blake. Mr. McPherson, I have an offer to make. Interesting for you, vital for me.
You mentioned an interesting offer. What exactly was it?
Mr. McPherson, you've been in Paris for some time and I need your help. Only you can investigate this case. I'm ready to pay anything.
Could you give me any more details about the case? At the moment, it all seems rather nebulous.
You probably haven't heard about the Orphée case, Mr. McPherson. The newspapers have kept it quiet. A couple of American tourists were brutally murdered. They were my sister and her husband. I want to know the circumstances surrounding their death.
Are the police handling the case? If they are, it may well complicate things. Do you know the name of the inspector in charge of the investigation?
The detective in charge of the investigation is named Lebrun. You know, the police are the same in every country, Mr. McPherson. Whether you're in New York or in Paris, you mustn't be in a hurry. Lebrun is no exception.
Your sister and her husband, they were both American. What exactly were they doing in Paris?
I was supposed to meet them in Paris. You know, Mr. McPherson, visiting Europe was my sister Ruby's childhood dream. With Mr. White, her wish came true. They were so very much in love.
How did they die? Are you sure they were murdered? It may just have been a terrible accident.
The Whites were found decapitated in their hotel room, Mr. McPherson.
These murders were committed in Paris. Do you know whereabouts in Paris?
A hotel in a chic part of Paris in the 8th district. The Hôtel Orphée. They arrived there about a week ago. They were found dead in their hotel bedroom.
To be honest, I'm not sure I should take the case. Firstly, because where there's a murder, there's a murderer. Inspector Lebrun is in a better position to arrest murderers than I am.
Mr. McPherson, I have no faith in the police. The 8th District Police Station, Lebrun especially, is trying to hush up the affair. All they care about is keeping their reputation as a chic area.
I don't get it. I've never worked for you before, not here nor in New York. Yet you come to me and ask me to find your sister's murderer. Why me, Miss Blake?
Your reputation, Mr. McPherson. I find your nickname, Spooky, to be charming. I have friends who know people at the Pinkerton Agency in New York. The suspicion surrounding you is totally unfounded, naturally. You are the man I need for this investigation. Discreet, capable of seeing beyond appearances.
I don't want to seem overly interested, but why don't we settle my fees before we go any further?
This case may take you several days. I'll give you 500 straight away and 500 per day of successful investigation.
Your offer is very reasonable. I accept.
I owe you a lot, Mr. McPherson. Much more than the money I'm paying you.
You'd like me to begin right away. I think I have all the information I need to begin. You're sure you haven't forgotten anything?
The police didn't find any items of value in the room. Yet my sister and her husband traveled very comfortably, in luxury and with old family heirlooms. It was a passion they both shared.
It is risky traveling with large sums of money. It would be a shame if they'd been killed for that reason. How valuable were these family heirlooms?
An old relic of no value. My sister was very fond of it. Of no value whatsoever.
I hope to have results quickly. I'll be in touch with you when I've made some progress in my investigation. Goodbye, Miss Blake.
I ask only one thing of you. Be discreet. The police must not suspect you're involved. If you'd like to meet me...
Hello, what number can I dial for you?
Forgive me, miss. I seem to have misplaced the number. Thanks all the same.
If you want to talk to someone, you will need their number. Glad to be of service, sir. Goodbye.
Gee, these suitcases are heavy.
And do not forget, young man, the elevator is still out of order.
Oh, brother.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée. My name is Isidore Petit. What can I do for you?
Good evening. My name is Gus McPherson. I'm a journalist for the Clairon de Paris. Could I ask you a few questions concerning the death of 2 American tourists? Name of White. That's it. White with a Y, not an I.
Sir, you work for a vulgar little rag. Your newspaper is a hodgepodge of lies and innuendos.
You are very harsh on the Clairon. What exactly do you have against it?
I dislike this public undermining of the safety measures implemented by the Hotel Orphée for the protection of its guests.
It's unfortunate that you were upset by the article that appeared in the Clairon. I'm writing another one now that will emphasize the new security arrangements.
We exercise extreme vigilance regarding the proficiency of our staff, as well as the standing of our clients.
How could you possibly prevent a raving lunatic from killing 2 innocent American tourists?
An extra security guard is out of the question. The Hotel Orphée is not a prison. I shall be more vigilant from now on, and more importantly, better assisted.
You seem rather defensive. Maybe there was some kind of security failure? Am I right?
That is enough. You wanted a demonstration of the effectiveness of our security. Well, I am personally responsible for security, and my first act will be to throw you out. Leave, sir.
What can I get you, sir?
Give me a bottle of red.
Sir?
I would like to inquire about a couple of friends.
May I help you? What's the name?
White.
Oh, the Whites. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but the Whites are dead. They were found murdered in their room. An awful story.
I know that they were killed.
If you already knew, what else do you want?
Clues.
I don't know anything, sir. You should try the police. Maybe you would have more luck with them.
Come on. You must know something.
Ask away if you must. But I assure you, I've seen nothing out of the ordinary.
Tell me about the evening. What was the atmosphere like?
Yes, it really was a most unusual evening.
What do you mean?
A series of strange coincidences. The telephone was no longer working. The lift breaking down at the Orphée. That still has not been repaired, incidentally. And to top it all, a violent storm breaking out just as the door closed behind the last customer. First thing the next day, I found out a double murder took place, right here, almost right above my head.
Does the elevator often break down at the Orphée?
You'll have to check with reception at the Orphée. I have no idea.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sir, aren't you on a case?
Are you quite sure, Mr. Beauvais, that you have not seen him?
Yes, I'm sure. Go on, Mrs. Elway, go home. We will take care of this, I promise.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Beauvais. You're so kind. The next time I'm at Cézanne, I'll bring you back a nice bottle of red wine. That's a promise. Goodbye, then.
Goodbye. Ah, a little bottle of red. Come on, next. Can I help you?
I've been sent by the American government to investigate the murder that took place at the Hotel Orphée. Gus McPherson.
The American Secret Service, but of course. And I am the Queen of England. Come on, papers, please.
My government knows nothing about my interest in this case. Just think of me as a private detective.
A private dick. I see. Well, you'd better show me your license.
A license? Of course I have a license. It's back home right now. I can go and pick it up if you want to see it that much, but we'll waste a whole lot of time.
Not bad. But you will have to come back. There is no such thing as permits for detectives.
I thought you wanted to see my private investigator's license from New York. Sorry. It's good to know I don't need a license to work in Paris.
This is not New York, Sonny. We are in Paris, and we do not like little snoops here. Who hired you?
It's just that my client pays me very well to keep silent. She's very fond of her privacy.
I have received very strict instructions about the Orfe case. No leaks. And I have everything to gain if you catch my drift.
Just a helping hand so I can launch my investigation in the right direction. That way we will not get our lines crossed. I don't want to impede your work in any way.
Forget it. It is baking in here, isn't it? You would not happen to have anything to drink, would you? Just one for the road. Full of promises and empty-handed, huh?
I do happen to have a little something for you. An amazing bottle of red wine. You cannot say no to that, officer. Don't you feel a little thirsty?
Great. The secret agent reappears. Strange lot, you Americans, I swear.
I've read the police report, but I'm sure you can tell me a little more. What are your impressions on the White case?
This case is pretty messy. A foul murder, unclear motive. If Inspector Lebrun needs a hand, he will ask me. For the time being, he is managing on his own like a big boy. That is all I know.
When I read the file, I noticed the name of a certain doctor, Frank Kaufner. What can you tell me about him?
Dr. Kaufner is our expert. Forensic scientist and above all, psychiatrist. The sort of guy who prefers the company of madmen and corpses to the likes of you and me.
I can understand your uneasiness. I don't like these psychiatrists or any other so-called specialists in human nature. I've had run-ins with them in the past. They think they have the answer to everything.
All these newfangled methods. The Bertillon system, photographs, records, fingerprints, and now, psychological profiles. It beats me, all that.
Am I right in thinking Inspector Lebrun is in charge of the investigation on the White case? Would it be possible to meet with him? That way we can compare our information.
He is not seeing anybody, just make a statement.
If Inspector Lebrun is not available right away, maybe I could see him later.
I already told you Inspector Lebrun does not want to be disturbed. But I can pass on a message.
Goodbye.
Yeah, right. Goodbye.
Dr. Kaufner's office, please.
It's over there, right at the end of the hall. Make sure you don't get lost.
Come in.
Dr. Frank Kaufner?
What can I do for you, sir?
I'm Gustav McPherson. I've come here to ask you a few questions about the White case.
Tell me what you want to hear. So you are investigating the incident at the Hotel Orphée?
Yes, Doctor. Your professional opinion on the murders.
Did Inspector Lebrun send you, Mr. McPherson?
I'm a private eye.
A private detective? Then someone is showing an interest in the White's murder.
A friend of the family was worried, and I'm trying to clarify the situation.
A friend? Are you quite sure? The Whites had no friends in Paris. At least, not as far as I know.
Appearances can sometimes be deceptive, Dr. Kaufner. That's why I would like to clarify this situation by gathering as much information as possible.
I am at your disposal, Mr. McPherson. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about the scene of the crime? The police have released very few details.
The man who committed this murder, and I stress the fact that he is a man, is probably quite overwhelmed at the present time. This crime was committed under the influence of a sudden impulse, without premeditation. His act is now haunting him. He is not himself.
And you think the motive for the murder was theft?
That is what the police say. But does the official version reflect Inspector Lebrun's true opinion? This murder could be the first in a long series of crimes.
What could be the motive of such a crime?
Love, hate, revenge. Those are the three reasons behind so much human bloodshed, Mr. McPherson.
It's awful.
You are discovering the dark side of Paris, Mr. McPherson. And do you have a suspect, Mr. McPherson?
If I had a suspect, I would not be here, Dr. Kaufner.
It has been a most pleasant conversation, but unfortunately, I cannot afford you more time, Mr. McPherson. I hope I have satisfied your curiosity.
That's a rather large suitcase. Big enough to slip into.
Sir?
Police have a suspect. I saw the inspector's report. What do you know about the man who spent the entire evening by the window?
That is certainly true. He was here on the night of the murder.
Until what time did the man stay?
Now let's see if I can remember. He arrived at around 8 p.m., took a seat by the window, and dashed off just before the storm broke, at around 11 p.m.
And he stayed there alone for the whole evening.
Now let me think. I saw him chatting for a while with Mallet.
Who is this Mallet?
Théo Mallet. Works at the Orphée. He's a lout.
Did you see what direction he went when he left?
I don't know. You cannot see outside from in here. You'd better check at the Orphée. Petit, the receptionist, will probably know. He was on duty that night.
And do you know where I might find this Mallet?
Mallet hangs out at the Alambic, a bistro in the 14th district. That is where he gambles away his wages.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You again! Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
Hey, cutie. We've not seen you in ages.
Berenice. What a surprise. Look, I'm in a bit of a hurry. Do you know a certain Théo Mallet?
No. But surely the owner does. You're lucky he's in right now. Your owner knows everyone you know.
You're as charming as ever. Thank you, Berenice.
Call me baby like everybody else. Right, I've got to run too, cutie. You know, work. See you soon, okay?
Yes, anyway, you know my address. Come up and see me sometime. Ciao.
Ciao!
Come on, let's see that hot hand of yours.
Queen and her 3 sisters.
Oh no, are you doing it on purpose or what? 3 of a kind. You beat my 3 aces. Right, I've had it. I'm off.
Hulot, you're not going now, are you? Not when I was about to relieve you of your car?
Don't start, Mallet. Do not think that you can get away with things just because you have settled your bar tab. Why, it is Macpherson. Hey, Macpherson, come over here.
Macpherson? Who is that?
Another American in Paris who is broke. Let me introduce you. Macpherson, let me introduce Théo Mallet.
Hi.
Right, I will leave you two. I have work to do.
Hi.
I get the feeling I've seen you before somewhere. Have you ever been to New York? Oh, no, Mac. I'm so absent-minded sometimes. The jacket. The Orphée. You're a doorman at the Orphée.
If you are interested in the suit, I will give you a good deal. As far as I'm concerned, it is ancient history.
You didn't like your job anymore. Yet the Orphée is a prestigious hotel.
You are very nosy. Do you want my old job or something?
Maybe the hotel did not pay you enough. Or maybe you found other sources of income.
I'm the sole heir of some old fart or other. I'm taking the first train back to Brittany.
You must admit, it's most uncommon to come into an inheritance right in the middle of the Nantes Cafe on the night of a murder.
I don't see what I could tell you.
You deny having met any man with a mustache at the Nantes Cafe on the night of the murder. Yet you were seen there.
Did I hear right? You are calling me a liar? Well, the liar bids you farewell. Good day to you, sir. You again. I get the feeling you have got the hots for me.
Well, Mallet, remember anything yet?
What a leech. I've got nothing more to say to you, Mr. MacPherson. You again. I get the feeling you have got the hots for me.
Well, Mallet, remember anything yet?
What a leech. I've got nothing more to say to you, Mr. MacPherson. Here, the Yank is back.
I have something to show you. Do you recognize this man? That's all very well, but how am I going to find that man now? He'll never come back to the Alembic.
I knew the Yanks were strange, but to talk to yourself out loud, and in French to boot?
Some are stranger than others.
See you soon.